Welcome, my dear student. Once again, I am going to take a class today. Today, I will take class for the student of class 9 and 10. And my identification, all you know, but as a formality, I am doing this. And today, my topic is English second paper, grammar item of course, class 9 and 10. So here some examples, look at those examples. No other boy in the class is as good as Rohim. Rohim is better than any other boy in the class. Rohim is the best boy in the class. Here three words are in red color. They are good, better and best. So what do the lines refer? Degree. I think all of you can understand that today our discussing topic is degree. The comparison of adjective. Degree means, as we all know, that degree means the comparison of adjective. Classification of degree is three. They are positive, comparative and superlative. In positive, good, better and best, tall, taller and tallest, beautiful, more beautiful and most beautiful. I think in your previous classes all of you have better idea about those items. Now look at these items. No other boy in the class is as good as Rohim. Here the red colored words, no other boy and is. Rohim is better than any other boy. Rohim is the best boy in the class. So here you can just look at these words, no other boy and is. Rohim is better than any other red colored words and the best boy in the class. Now change the positive into comparative to superlative degree. No other girl in the class is as tall as Runa. No other animal in the jungle is as ferocious as tiger. Now, no other girl in the class is as tall as Runa. Runa is taller than any other girl in the village. And all we know the structure that if the sentence starts with no other, in that cases whenever we will transform it in comparative degree, then at first we will use subject, then verb, then the comparative form of the adjective, and as we know the adjective form of tall is taller, so we have used here taller, and in our structure we know than any other. And here the underlined words, look at these underlined words, than any other, since it is the sentence is started in no other girls, so than any other and the extent of the sentence. And whenever we will transform it in superlative degree, in these cases our structure is at first subject, our subject is Runa, then verb is, then the. As we know that this word only used in superlative form, this definite article the is always used in superlative degree. So the and the superlative form of tall, as we know, tall and its comparative form is taller and superlative form is tallest. So since we are transforming it in superlative degree, we are using here tallest, and then the other parts of the word, other parts of the sentence, that is girl in the village, girl in the village. So I am once again repeating, no other girl in the class is as tall as Runa. Then our comparative form should be Runa is taller than any other girl in the class. Then Runa is the tallest girl in the class. Then comes no other animal in the jungle is as ferocious as tiger. Here our subject is tiger and our verb is, and the word ferocious adjective and its comparative form is more ferocious, so we are using here more ferocious. Then since this sentence starts with no other animal, we are using than any other, and then the other parts of the sentence, that is animal in the jungle. And the superlative degree of this sentence, as we know that first of all we have to use the subject, that is tiger, and the verb of the sentence is, and the definite article the, and the ferocious and its superlative form is most ferocious, and we are using here most ferocious, and the other parts of the sentence, that is animal in the jungle. Now dear students, look at those examples. No other boys in the class are. You have to look at the red colored words. No other boys in the class are as good as Rohim. Rohim is better than all other boys in the class. Here no other boys and are. You have to look at these words. For this reason we are using here all other boys. Again, whenever we are transforming it to superlative degree, we are using Rohim is the best of all boys in the class. Since we have used here all other boys, so that whenever we are transforming it in superlative degree, we have to use all of all boys in the class. Then no other girls in the village are as tall as Runa. No other animals in the jungle are as ferocious as tiger. Now look at those solution of those words, that is no other girls in the class are as tall as Runa. Runa is taller than all other girls in the world. Look at those underlined sentences. Underlined, you have to keep attention to those underlined sentences for better understanding. That is all other girls, no other girls and are, then Runa is the tallest of all girls in the village. Then comes no other animals in the jungle are as ferocious as tiger. Tiger is more ferocious than all other animals in the jungle, and tiger is the most ferocious of all animals in the jungle. In your grammar book all these items are given and you have all the rules. You have already understood all the rules. I think after participating in the class you will go to your textbook and it will be very effective in that cases. Now look at these examples, dear students. Very few boys in the class are as good as Rohim. Now we have the red colored word, very few boys and are. Look at these words. Then comes Rohim is better than most other boys in the class. Since we have used here very few, so that we have used here most other boys. I think all you have clear idea about it. Then the superlative form of this word is Rohim is one of the best boys in the class. We have used one of the best boys, one of the, because we have used here very few and here most others. So remember these items, that whenever we have got very few in the positive sentence and most other in the comparative sentence, so when we must use in the superlative form one of the best, one of the, and if in the superlative form we have one of the, then we will use most other in the comparative sentence and very few in the positive sentence. That's mean these three items we will use or instead of one another, or we will use we have to use these items in alternative way. Now change the positive into comparative and superlative. Look at these examples. Very few girls in the village are as tall as Runa. Very few animals in the jungle are as ferocious as tiger. Now Runa is taller than most other girls in the village, as we have discussed earlier, that if we have used very few, in that cases we have to use most other. Again, if we use very few in superlative form, we have to use one of the, what we have done already. So you have to understand these items, that very few, most other and one of the, they are related to each other. In the case of one of the, we use most other. In the case of most other, we will use positive whenever we will transform them in positive degree. So these three things are related to one another. Then another example, Rohim is taller than Korim. Look at this example, Rohim is taller than Korim, positive degree. Korim is not as tall as Rohim. This object is transformed into subject. I think all you have got some idea about it in your previous classes. Now change the comparison into positive. Rana is better than Shimul. Shimul is not as good as Rana. Shima is not taller than Mini. and its superlative form is Mini is as tall as Shima. Here you have to remember that this sentence is in negative form, so whenever we are going to take it in positive form, here actually it should be positive. In that cases we have to use the negative form into positive form. That's when negative sentence will be transformed into affirmative sentence, so that this not is not available here. Now Rohim is not better than Korim. Korim is as good as Rohim. Here we have seen quite similar example here, that is not is available here. For this reason in our answer we did not use not here. Again, Rohim is not better than Korim, here we have not, but whenever we are transforming it into positive we are not using the negative form here, we are using the positive form here. Again another example, students. Korim is less tall than Rohim. Korim is less tall than Rohim, and its positive degree is Korim is not as tall as Rohim. Korim is not as tall as Rohim. Again, Rana is less good than Minhas. Rana is not as good as Minhas. So these two examples you have to remember attentively, because they are very important for your examinations. Here another example, look at this example. Shima is not less tall than Mimi. Shima is not less tall than Mimi, and our answer is Mimi is as tall as Shima. So how the object transformed into subject? I think you can look at the arrow here, and the Mimi is an object and it's transformed into the subject of superlative positive form, and sentence is negative, and it is it has become the positive sentence. Shima the subject transformed into the object of the positive sentence. Now Rohim is not less good than Korim. Here like the previous example, Korim is as good as Rohim, object transformed into subject, and it is negative, and it transformed into affirmative sentence. Now we have got some homeworks, so that whenever you will stay at home you have to do these kinds of homeworks, and you don't waste your time. You know we have a very limited portion of time. For this reason we are not discussing it more elaborately. For this reason you have to go through your grammar book, the selected grammar books, and it will be very effective and helpful for you for better understanding. It is the most important story in this book, and you have to transform it in both positive and comparative. It is the shortest of all students, he is the shortest of all students in our class, positive and comparative. She is one of the most beautiful girls in the class. You have to transform it positive and super comparative. I think I have already discussed about these examples, so that it will not be difficult for you. Then Shikha is taller than Beauty. This comparative sentence you have to transform into positive. Then Ratul is not taller than Mintu. Then comparative to positive, then it is less tall than that, and she is not less tall than he. All these four items should be transformed into positive sentence, since they are in the form of comparative, and these sentences are in the superlative form. You have to transform them in comparative and positive sentences. So dear students, thank you very much for participating in my class. I hope if you practice these items at home, and if you have any problems, please contact with your class teacher, subject teacher, and it will be more easier for you. So stay at home and keep safe.